Wow, what a finale we just saw of Hawkeye. That's right, this video is all about the first, maybe final, who knows, season of Hawkeye. There's no word on that if this is a one and done, similar to WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, or if it'll be like Loki and get a second season. But this first season was a damn fun time inside of the MCU. Of course, this show brings back Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye and introduces Haley Steinfeld. You might know her as the main girl from Bumblebee. You might know her from Apple TV Plus's Dickinson show. You might know her as the voice of Spider-Gwen in Into the Spider-Verse, but this is her role. Like, she was now seeing her as the role. I can't see anyone else in the role of Kate Bishop. And joining her is her mom, played by the great Vera Farmiga from the Conjuring movies, from The Fighter. She's in so much great stuff. She's amazing. She's definitely a supporting character in the show, but she has big things to do in this show. Her fiance, played by Timothy Dalton, is the swordsman, who is another big character coming into the MCU. Don't know if we'll see too much more of him inside the MCU. Maybe if we get some more with Kate Bishop, he'll be along for the ride. But the swordsman gets introduced throughout this show as well. And just so you know, we are talking spoilers in this review. We're talking about the whole season, so if you haven't seen it, maybe tune out and come back once you've seen it. Timothy Dalton's swordsman is definitely a huge red herring, because the whole season they think he's the bad guy and part of the tracksuit mafia and all this stuff, that he's wrapped up in it. But of course it turns out to be Kate Bishop's mom that's all wrapped up in it. And who is she working with / for? None other than the Kingpin. That's right, this show brings the Kingpin from the Daredevil show. Don't know if that's making the Daredevil show canon or not, but they did bring back Vincent D'Onofrio, which is great news because he is the Kingpin. Like, no one else can play that role as long as Vincent D'Onofrio is able to, and he just crushes it just like he always did in Daredevil. He doesn't show up until the final. I mean, he's in the 5th episode for a picture, but he doesn't really show up until the 6th episode. And boy, oh boy, does he show up when he shows up, because man, oh man, he is great in this show. Another big character it introduces into the MCU is Echo, who is getting a spinoff. She's getting her own Disney Plus series that I think is set to drop like late next year / early 2023, and I was not looking forward to that show. I like the Echo character enough in the comics, but this show, by the end of the show, you really care for that character. You're like her, you're attached to her, and you want to see where her journey goes next. And it's definitely cool because even like people that don't know a lot about comics, they might have heard about Iron Man, they might have heard about Captain America, they might have heard about Ant-Man. They did not hear about Echo before this show started, so this show gets non-comic book readers attached to that character and then launches off into their own show. And I'm curious, maybe she'll be a part of the Avengers. Does Kate Bishop show up in her series? Does Wilson Fisk carry over? What goes on? Does Daredevil show up in her series? Because they're certainly connected in the comic books as well. I'm very excited for the Echo show now, a lot more than I was even 3 weeks ago, with recent happenings inside the MCU with some character arrivals between Kingpin and someone that shows up in Spider-Man No Way Home. We won't spoil that for you, but big things made me more excited for the Echo show. And the big thing that I love throughout this whole show is the chemistry between Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld. I saw a lot of people saying they don't have chemistry. What show are you watching? I think their chemistry is great, especially in the last few episodes where they really start to bond. It's so good. And then Yelena from Black Widow gets thrown into the mix. Florence Pugh comes back, and it's great to see her again because she was my favorite part of Black Widow. So it's great to see her character return. I can't wait to see where she goes next, because it kind of feels like her storyline that was set up in Black Widow is resolved now. So does she come back in as the Black Widow for maybe future Avengers movies? Do her and Kate Bishop become friends and they have a project in the future, a team-up movie or something? We'll have to wait and see. But this show felt good. It felt fun. Even though Kingpin was there, it still felt fun. Like, this felt like a fun holiday movie that you could watch, and that's definitely what Hawkeye did. It's like the Die Hard, especially the last episode, is like the Die Hard of the MCU, and it felt warm and fuzzy inside. Even though terrible things were happening, there were murders happening, Kingpin shows up and starts straight killing people, this felt warm and fuzzy, and at the same time, it felt the most like the Netflix Marvel shows that we've gotten from the MCU, because it was a street level, not dealing with multiverse, not dealing with aliens. It was just Kingpin, the tracksuit mafia, and it was kind of like a mobster story with Hawkeye and Kate Bishop wrapped up. Certainly launches Kate Bishop. I'm not sure if we'll see Jeremy Renner again in the MCU. I hope we do, maybe in a mentorship role to the Young Avengers. Maybe he could be like their Jarvis. That'd be kind of cool to see, but I think Kate Bishop is going to take over the Hawkeye mantle from now on. And wow, what a post-credit scene. One of the funnest post-credit scene we've ever had in the MCU. We could do this all day. Sorry if that sounds awful. I'm quite sick right now. Not corona, just a sinus infection, so relax. But Hawkeye, not my least favorite Marvel show. I think I do like this one better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. Hawkeye was a ton of fun, introduced loads of stuff into the MCU, including Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, so I can't wait to see where the characters from this series go, and whether we get a season 2 or not, I am very curious to find out that as well. Hawkeye gets an 8 out of 10 for me. The last episode was awesome, but the rest was very good as well. Let me know what you thought down in the comments of Hawkeye. Is it your least favorite? Did you tune out of the series before the finale even got here? Did you just watch the finale to see Kingpin come back? Let's chat down in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing out as we enter the new year. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys right here next time.